Right now, dealer lots are stuffed with incredible vehicles that the average buyer is too lazy to notice. While everyone else is overpaying for the same three trendy SUVs, the real deals are sitting in the corner, ignored because they look boring or too old man. That is your winning lottery ticket. Today, I'm stripping away the marketing hype to show you 12 discarded gems that are cheap, reliable, and practically indestructible. We're talking about premium engineering for basement prices, cars that will outlast your neighbor's $60,000 loan without breaking a sweat. You want the truth? You want the logic? Then pay attention, because the best deal isn't the one everyone is chasing. It's the one they're walking past. Number 12. 2013 to 2016 Buick LaCrosse. Retirement image or not, this near-luxury sedan hides serious value for buyers who care more about comfort than driveway bragging rights. The 2013 to 2016 LaCrosse with a 3.6-liter V6 and 6-speed automatic keeps showing up on dealer lots. Because big sedans are deeply uncool right now, the Buick badge feels invisible, and too many shoppers would rather overpay for a smaller crossover with less room and more road noise. That is your opening. Used prices usually sit around $7,000 to $12,000, depending on mileage, trim, and how nice the car still presents. For that money, you get a quiet highway cruiser with strong seats, real back seat space, and feature content that often feels richer than the price tag. In the garage, these make sense for men who do a lot of highway miles and want a cabin that feels calm without stepping into expensive German used car territory. What makes it special is the way it lands just under Lexus-like comfort, while often costing closer to used Chevrolet money. The styling does not scream anything, and that is exactly why it gets ignored. But once you drive one on a rough road, shut the doors and settle into the seat, the whole pitch gets easier. It also gives you the kind of strong V6 smoothness many four-cylinder bargain cars simply cannot match. This is not a flashy buy. It is a smart one for buyers who want low-stress miles, decent power, and more car per dollar than the market seems willing to admit right now. Number 11. 2014 to 2018 Chevrolet Impala. Adult-sized room for compact car money is getting rarer, and this Impala is one of the clearest examples sitting right in front of people. The 2014 to 2018 Impala, with the 3.6-liter V6 and 6-speed automatic, still gets overlooked because the large sedan market is basically dead. Rental car history scared plenty of buyers away, and most people hear Chevrolet sedan and assume forgettable instead of useful. That lazy thinking creates the discount. Dealer lot pricing usually runs about $8,000 to $13,500, and that buys a whole lot of metal, a lot of comfort, and a cabin that still feels modern enough not to seem ancient. That matters. The seats fit real adults, the trunk is huge, the ride is stable on the highway, and the powertrain is simple enough that ownership does not feel like a science project. What makes this one special is that it is one of the few roomy used sedans left that still feels current inside without asking luxury car money. We are talking about a really long trip car here, not just a cheap four-door with a badge. It is especially good for buyers who want quiet cruising, big door openings, and real rear seat room. If you want a daily driver that can eat miles, carry people comfortably, and give you more breathing room than most mid-size sedans, the Impala still makes a lot of sense. The market punishes it for being a big sedan. Smart buyers can use that. Number 10. 2013 to 2016 Ford Taurus. Heavy, thick, and totally unfashionable, the Taurus gets ignored for reasons that have more to do with image than actual usefulness. The 2013 to 2016 cars with a 3.5-liter V6 and 6-speed automatic sit on dealer lots because shoppers see a big sedan, think old man car, and miss how much quiet metal they are getting for the money. Pricing usually falls between $5,000 and $11,000, depending on trim, mileage, and condition, which is soft when you look at what similar year imports can still bring. What you get is a sedan that feels more substantial than most cheap midsize cars. The seats are big, the ride is planted, the highway manners are comfortable, and the V6 gives it enough strength that it never feels painfully weak. That makes it a better road trip tool than most people expect. It also helps that the shape keeps fake sport buyers away, which means the discount stays alive. What makes the Taurus special is not excitement. It is the sense of solidness it gives you for bargain money. Open and close the doors. Drive it at 70 miles per hour, and you understand why some older buyers loved them. The steering is not sporty, but the car feels stable and secure in a way many cheap sedans do not. This is the kind of car people joke about until they spend a few hours in one and realize it feels tougher, quieter, and more relaxed than a lot of smaller sedans with trendier badges. Subscribe if you want the cars everyone ignores, not safe picks every lazy used car channel repeats, while value keeps sitting on dealer lots. Number 9. 2013 to 2016. Ford C-Max Hybrid. Weird shape or not, this tall little hatch solves real-life problems better than a lot of trendier compact crossovers people keep paying more to own. The 2013 to 2016 C-Max Hybrid uses a 2.0-liter hybrid system with Ford's eCVT-style hybrid transmission, and dealer lots still struggle to move them because the styling feels awkward. Hybrid fear still scares some buyers, and most shoppers would rather buy an Escape or chase a Prius badge. That hesitation creates the price gap. Most examples sit around $6,000 to $10,000 depending on miles and trim, which is strong value for something this roomy and this efficient. Around town it is easy to place, easy to park, and easy to live with. The hatchback shape is practical, the seating position is upright, and the fuel economy stays strong enough to make a real difference if you drive every day. What makes it special is that it is one of the cheapest ways into a roomy, efficient, city-friendly daily driver that does not feel tiny inside. It is also surprisingly useful for buyers who want easy entry, a tall roofline, and good visibility without paying crossover money. You are not buying this for style. You are buying it because it does useful work quietly and cheaply. That is the whole point of this list. The C-Max gets ignored because buyers do not know what box to put it in. Smart shoppers can use that confusion, grab the discount, and drive home in something more useful than the market wants to admit. Number 8. 2012 to 2015. Mazda 5. Here is the 6-seat mini minivan buyers never quite understand, and that confusion is exactly why the discount exists. The 2012 to 2015 Mazda 5 uses a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder with a 5-speed automatic, and that simple setup matters because this car is all about useful packaging, not image. Dealer lots struggle with it because most shoppers want either a real minivan or a crossover, and the Mazda 5 sits in the middle, looking too small for one crowd and too strange for the other. That is why the price lane stays so soft, usually around $3,000 to $8,000, depending on miles, trim, and condition. For that money, you get sliding doors, 6 seats, compact outside dimensions, and family utility without paying SUV money for fake rugged styling. What makes it special is that almost nothing else in the used market gives you this exact mix of practical space and small car ease at this price. It fits in tighter spots, feels lighter on its feet than a big van, and still handles school runs, grocery trips, and short family hauling jobs better than a lot of trendier options. The shape is why it sits, but the shape is also why it works. If you care more about low-stress daily use than what the neighbors think, the Mazda 5 still looks like one of the smartest, quietest values on a dealer lot. It is the kind of oddball family tool that saves money twice, once at purchase, and again every time you skip the bigger, thirstier vehicle you thought you needed. Number 7. 2012 to 2015. Scion XB. Boxy, plain, and totally uncool by modern standards, the Scion XB keeps getting ignored by shoppers who do not realize how much room and simplicity they are walking past. The 2012 to 2015 XB uses a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder with either a 4-speed automatic or a manual, and that old-school setup is part of the appeal. Dealer lots end up full of them because the badge is dead, the styling is weird, and buyers chasing image cannot get past the toaster shape. Good. That keeps the price in the roughly $5,000 to $10,000 range, and that is real value for a hatch with this much cabin space. Toyota parts bin logic helps the ownership story stay simple, city use is easy, and day-to-day running costs stay cheap enough that the car makes sense as a practical commuter, a small family errand car, or even a weirdly great road trip tool if you value space more than form. Another reason this thing works so well is the upright shape. You sit high enough to get good visibility, the doors open wide, and loading groceries, tool bags, or even awkward boxes is far easier than in most small sedans. The rear seat room is also better than people expect, which matters if you actually carry adults instead of just talking about practicality online. What makes it special is that it may be one of the most useful small cars sold in the United States if you judge it by room, visibility, and honest daily function instead of shape. People laugh at it in the parking lot, then get inside and realize the joke is on them. That is the whole point of this list. Bad image, good car, real discount. It is not trying to be sporty, premium, or rugged. It is simply trying to be useful, and that mission still shows every single day. Number 6. 2012 to 2017. Buick Regal. This is the quiet bargain for buyers who want something more composed than a basic mid-size sedan without paying import brand money for the privilege. The version that makes the most sense here is the naturally aspirated 2.4-liter four-cylinder, with the 6-speed automatic, especially in the 2012 to 2017 run. Buick's badge, the sedan body, and the fact that almost nobody cross-shops these with the cars they actually compete against all help keep dealer prices soft, usually around $6,500 to $11,500. That leaves room for a lot of car per dollar. The ride feels nicer than most people expect. The cabin usually feels better trimmed than same-money economy sedans. And the road manners are more settled than shoppers expect when they hear Buick. That is what makes it special. It is one of those cars nobody really asked for, so now it is cheap. And because buyers are too busy chasing crossovers or the same safe compact sedans, the Regal keeps slipping under the radar. For a mature buyer who wants decent features, a calmer highway feel, and something that carries itself with a little more solidness than a bargain Corolla or Civic, this is a smart place to look. It is not dramatic, and that is exactly the advantage. It simply gives you more polish than the market seems willing to pay for. Even the nameplate works in your favor, because shoppers who think Buick and immediately picture retirement keep the pricing softer than the actual car deserves. Subscribe if you want overlooked value, not the same overpriced safe bet every other shopper already chased, inflated, and drained of the real discount. That matters most when the market keeps rewarding image shoppers and quietly leaving the truly practical cars behind for patient buyers who know how to read a dealer lot well. Number 5. 2012 to 2015. Honda Crosstour. Everybody made fun of the Crosstour's shape, and that is exactly why it is still a value instead of another overpriced Honda cliché. The 2012 to 2015 Crosstour came with either a 2.4-liter four-cylinder or a 3.5-liter V6, both paired with conventional automatics, and that alone makes it easier to trust than a lot of trendier used choices. Dealer lots have trouble moving them because the styling still confuses people. The hatchback profile never felt fully sedan or fully crossover, and buyers do not know where to file it in their heads. That uncertainty keeps prices in the roughly $9,000 to $14,000 range, which is not cheap, but still fair when you look at what the car actually does. Why should you buy one? Honda's long reliability reputation helps. The cargo area is more useful than a normal sedan trunk. The entry height is easier than a low sedan, and the road trip comfort is better than a lot of buyers expect. What makes it special is that it gives you a weird but practical crossover sedan mashup without asking you to pay real crossover money. It solves more daily life problems than the styling suggests. You get room, decent powertrain choices, familiar Honda ownership, and a shape that works far better in real life than it photographs. Buyers laughed at it when it was new, and that laughter still keeps the used market softer than it should be. Smart buyers can use that. It is one of the clearest examples of a car getting discounted, mostly because people never knew what to call it. Number 4. 2013 to 2015. Toyota Prius Furb. While everybody was overpaying for tiny crossovers with worse mileage and less room, this hybrid wagon kept sitting on dealer lots because Americans never figured out what to do with it. The 2013 to 2015 Prius V uses Toyota's 1.8-liter hybrid system with the familiar eCVT, and that combination is exactly why it still deserves a hard look. Prices usually land around $9,000 to $13,000, which feels fair until you realize how much space and efficiency you are getting for that money. These cite because wagon stigma is real. Hybrid battery fear scares casual shoppers, and buyers who want Prius fuel economy without the normal Prius shape end up buying a crossover instead. That is the market mistake. Why should you buy one? Because it gives you strong mileage, a roomy back seat, a genuinely useful cargo area, and the kind of calm ownership story Toyota hybrids built their name on. For a commuter, a small family, or a buyer who drives a lot of city miles, this thing makes a ton of sense. It is also easy to load, easy to see out of, and easier to park than a lot of taller vehicles buyers think they need. The low roof also helps with loading bikes, coolers, or bulky bags without the awkward reach many compact crossovers force on you. What makes it special is that very few used cars blend efficiency and cargo room this well without getting expensive. It is not trying to look rugged or sporty. It is trying to solve real life, and that mission still lands. If you want a car that quietly saves fuel, carries people comfortably, and shrugs off trends, this is one of the smartest dealer lot discounts in the whole video. Number 3. 2014 to 2016 Kia Cadenza. Most buyers skip this car the second they see the badge, and that is exactly why the value is still sitting there for somebody else. The 2014 to 2016 Kia Cadenza uses a 3.3-liter V6 with a 6-speed automatic, and the whole setup leans into smooth, quiet, easy highway comfort. Dealer lots stay full of them because the Kia badge has almost zero swagger in a near-luxury segment. The large sedan market is weak, and shoppers would rather chase the wrong German badge than admit this thing exists. That is why prices usually fall around $9,000 to $14,000. For that money, the Cadenza gives you a lot. The seats feel plush, the V6 feels strong, the ride is soft without being sloppy, and the feature content often punches well above the price. Why should you buy it? Because comfort per dollar is hard to beat here. This is a big, relaxed, road trip-friendly sedan that feels more expensive than its resale value says it should. The cabin is roomy, the highway manners are stable, and the whole car gives off the kind of grown-up ease people say they want after they get tired of cramped, noisy sedans. You also get a car that feels genuinely large inside without becoming a pain to park or thread through city traffic. What makes it special is exactly that mismatch. It feels like an expensive car without carrying the expensive used car demand. If your priority is comfort over status, and you want a real room without paying Lexus money, this is one of the easiest ways into that experience. It is not cool, and that is your advantage. Subscribe if you want the cheap buys that get ignored for image, not the junk that looks affordable because the engine, transmission, or ownership story is already a disaster. Number 2. 2013 to 2015 Toyota Avalon. Older buyer image or not, this is one of the easiest ways to buy grown-up comfort without stepping into luxury brand pricing. The 2013 to 2015 Avalon uses Toyota's 3.5-liter V6 with a 6-speed automatic, and that powertrain is a big part of why the car still deserves respect. Prices usually run around $10,000 to $15,000, depending on miles, trim, and condition. These cite because full-size sedans are deeply unfashionable. The shape screams older buyer, and too many shoppers hear big Toyota sedan and assume dull. That is exactly the opening. Why should you buy it? Because the Avalon gives you a quiet cabin, strong V6 smoothness, real long-distance comfort, and the kind of proven Toyota bones that make ownership feel stable instead of stressful. On the road, it feels closer to a softer Lexus than a normal family sedan. The back seat is generous, the trunk is huge, and the whole car has that easygoing road trip feel people do not appreciate until they spend 3 straight hours in traffic. It is also one of the few dealer lot cars in this price band that feels truly relaxed instead of merely acceptable. That is what makes it special. It is one of the simplest ways to buy Lexus-adjacent comfort without actually paying Lexus used car money. If you spend time on the highway, carry adults often, or just want a car that feels more relaxed than a mid-size sedan, this thing is a bargain hiding in plain sight. The market punishes it for being mature. Smart buyers can use that. Number 1. 2013 to 2015 Toyota Venza. Nobody quite knew what this thing was when it was new, and that same identity problem is exactly why the used market still prices it lower than it deserves. The 2013 to 2015 Venza came with either a 2.7-liter 4-cylinder or a 3.5-liter V6, both with conventional automatics. And that simple lineup is a big reason it makes so much sense now. The common high-mile dealer lane usually runs around $10,000 to $15,000, with cleaner examples going higher. Why do they sit? Because it had a wagon crossover identity problem. Zero cool factor. And buyers never fully understood whether it was a tall wagon, a family car, or an alternative to a crossover. The answer is yes, and that is exactly why it works. Why should you buy one? Because you get Toyota dependability, an easy step in height, a roomy cabin, useful cargo space, and none of the fake rugged crossover tax people keep paying for. It also feels easier to live with than many taller SUVs because the roofline, loading height, and seating position all land in a very practical middle ground. Even the four-cylinder versions make sense for buyers who value simpler running costs over extra speed, while the V6 adds real effortlessness for highway work. What makes it special is that this is the car people laugh at until they actually live with it. Then they realize it does almost everything they really need. It carries people well, swallows gear, feels easy to get in and out of, and gives you the practical value buyers claim to want while chasing something trendier instead. This is the strongest proof of the whole argument in this video. Good car, bad image, real discount. That is why it finishes first. Buyer rules. The best dealer lot discounts usually live in cars with a bad image, not bad engineering. Big sedans, odd wagons, mini minivans, dead badges, and hybrid hatches get ignored because they do not help anyone cosplay a lifestyle. That is why the discount exists. Shop these cars by powertrain, maintenance history, and body condition, not by whether the internet thinks they look cool. A boring car with a proven engine is usually a safer buy than a trendy one with a weak story hiding underneath. A soft resale value can be a gift when the car itself is still solid. That is the pattern to remember. Do not buy the market's ego. Buy the car that actually fits your life, your roads, and your budget. A good discount only matters if the car still gives you reliable service, useful space, and a calm ownership story after the paperwork is signed. That is why the image is such a useful weapon for patient buyers. When the market gets shallow, useful cars get cheaper. That simple rule saves money because a cheap, useful car with a boring image is still a better bet than a stylish one the market quietly fears today. Click the next video now. That is the used cars to avoid list, and it shows the other side of cheap car shopping before you spend $1. Like and subscribe.